Horizontv, the beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Aisha Khan, an ambitious, open-minded and proud Muslim woman. Looking back at the Islamic history, it will not be hard to find women who are innovative, leaders or entrepreneurs. It is said that the property of Lady Khadija, the Prophet ﷺ's first wife, financed Islam in its infancy. Islam then elevated the position of women in so many ways. Join me as I set out to go on dates with Muslim women from all walks of life to find out who they are, what they do, and what role Islam plays in their lives. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the meet and greet show with yours truly, Aisha Khan. Well, today I am going to meet a lovely lady who is championing in the field of agriculture and technology. She has received many accolades, including New African Woman of the Year, Forbes 10 Tech Founders to Watch, 2015 100 Most Influential Africans. She goes by the name Jamila Abass. She is the co-founder of WeFarm, an app that connects farmers and buyers and makes the supply chain efficient. This innovation has won numerous awards and also the praise of the former US President Barack Obama during the 6th Global Entrepreneurship Summit.
Named Jamila Abass. So Jamila founded WeFarm, which is a mobile platform that is already used by over 14,000 people across Kenya. WeFarm makes it easy for farmers to get information that lets them match their crops with what the market demands. And studies show that it can help farmers double their sales. So here's what Jamila said. I love Kenya because you feel you are home anywhere you go. Home anywhere you go. That's the Kenya that welcomed me nearly 30 years ago as a young man. You helped make me feel at home, and standing here today as President of the United States.
She is currently the country manager at WeFarm. I am finally at the Monarch Hotel with the lovely and intelligent Jamila Abass. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Aisha, for having me.
Okay, tell us about your entrepreneurship journey, especially since it's in your blood ever since you were a child.
Wow, how much? It depends, I think, how much time you've got. I started being an entrepreneur at a very young age, growing up in a family where people were running businesses like shops, hotels, restaurants, and lodges. When I was a young kid, I loved doing things that will bring me money. For example, like making sweets, growing vegetables just near the well at home and selling to the neighborhood. So it's been an interesting journey growing up and finishing my university studies, coming back, looking for jobs, getting jobs, but still not being satisfied. Doing 8 to 5.
8 to 5, very boring.
Very boring. And sometimes when you're working in an environment where you're supposed to impact people's lives, and you're just sitting behind a desk 24 hours, it doesn't help unless you're part of the action or you're at the center of the action, trying to verify what your work and how it's contributing to impacting people's lives. So around 2010, I started WeFarm, which is a platform that connects smallholder farmers directly to the market to increase their profit because there's so much inefficiencies in the market. And that journey unfortunately came to an end recently, around 2016. Well, it came to an end because I think we had an amazing product and service that had so much traction, but at the same time, in terms of team capacity, we didn't have the capacity to execute and turn it to become a profitable company. So sometimes, when you're a good businessman, you know when to end and look for the next thing. So it just became too much for me to bear, and I had to move on. And now with WeFarm, which is a peer-to-peer network of farmers sharing knowledge, ideas, and supporting each other because they have a lot of problems getting information to manage their farms. So I'm currently the country manager for WeFarm.
Oh, mashallah, that's really nice.
Thank you.
And what actually inspired the thought of you coming up with something like WeFarm?
You'll be surprised. It's you people, by that I mean journalists. There was a period of time when, like there's always news about farmers being taken advantage of, or how inefficient the whole system of farm to market is.
Yeah.
And reading that over and over again, I got inspired, and I have a background in technology. I'm a software engineer in training. So I had to look at what kind of knowledge do I have to change the situation for the smallholder farmers. And it's for smallholder farmers for this country is very key because like majority of the population is smallholder farmers living in rural areas. And if you look at our country, it's like the backbone of this country. So how do I not just change the smallholder farmers situation, but also contribute to making Kenya a better place?
Yeah.
And the first thing that came to mind was, why are these farmers having all this trouble? Which is, and the answer was, they don't have access to the information. If I wanted to sell this product to Aisha, how do I know Aisha needs it? So that's how we started creating this ecosystem of farmers connecting directly to the market.
And it actually won you a lot of publicity. You know, you actually got mentioned out in public by Barack Obama.
Yeah.
What was your reaction? Were you expecting it?
Yes and no. I was in the arena when he mentioned. Before that, I got contacted by the US Embassy. I was interviewed. But you know, they don't tell you it's going to happen. They just tell you there's a probability and it's 50-50 chance, but just be there in case. When it actually happened, my reaction was, oh my God, this is happening. But at the same time, I was like, oh my God, do I deserve it?
Of course you do, you've worked hard for it.
Exactly, but you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you always think about the finish line, but there's no finish line really. Whenever you think you have reached, you haven't reached yet. You want to do more, you want to either increase your profitability, you want to reach more people, you want to have more impact. So it was mixed feeling of...
But I'm sure you were so happy.
Yes.
Yes, I did.
But at the same time, I was like, oh, pressure is on now.
Yeah. And what impact did it make, you know, after he recognized you publicly? Did it make an impact in your business?
So much. Within the first, if I'm not wrong, 1 month after the mention, our numbers in terms of user base doubled.
Wow.
I think we were at 14,000 when he mentioned. Just 2-3 months down the line, we were at 30,000. So it had a very huge impact in terms of user base, so direct impact on the business. At the same time, it became like a door opener for us, which is, if a woman knows them, we ought to know them. And we kind of used it as a marketing tool to reach out to governors, to reach out to, you know, local authorities that we needed our support. So it was really...
And how supportive has the government been in your venture? Especially, you know, very many social entrepreneurs shun away from the government. But you actually have a tactic and know how to deal with them. Give us some of the tips and tricks.
Well, my number one tactic is you have to speak the government's language.
Which is?
Which is, what are they really keen on? What do they care about? When it comes to, especially in my industry, which is agriculture, government wants to transform the industry. But they also understand that they're just one partner in the whole ecosystem. It's not a transformation that they will do in isolation. So my encounter with government prior to WeFarm was not like the best, but now we have county governments that are buying into the vision of WeFarm. Because of the critical mass that we've hit. In Kenya alone, we have close to 350,000 farmers in the WeFarm network. And that has attracted a lot of attention to encourage local authorities to want to partner with WeFarm so that they can reach out to all the farmer network in the counties. So now that is changing, because in my previous life I learned some lessons that I can apply now in my new life, which is, what is important for this local government? Do they want to support? Are they interested?
So what have some of your greatest achievements been in this industry of agriculture and technology? What can you look back and say, wow, you know what, I did it?
Well, to be honest, that will be MFarm. And I say that...
That's pretty much like your baby.
It is my baby that I had a lot of difficulties to put to rest.
Yeah.
You know, no mother wants to bury her child.
True.
But it happens, right?
Yeah.
The reason why I'm very proud of MFARM and what we have done before is because it created a discussion.
Yeah.
It created some sort of a movement that did not exist before, especially in the agriculture technology industry. Prior to, you know, MFARM, you would see here and there people talking about farming and how farmers are supposed to be empowered, but it now became a blooming industry in its own right. We have like couples and dozens of startups that are particularly addressing the agriculture industry and empowering the smallholder farmer and transforming the whole supply chain and the industry itself. Prior to that, people were not talking so much about how we change this.
Yeah.
So we've sort of become champions of creating this movement of, you know, a lot of startups wanting to change the whole industry itself.
Yes, as you just said, startups. There are very many startups who are coming up with different types of technologies, you know, to improve the agriculture and technology sector.
Yeah.
So what makes your thinking different, especially now that you're at WeFarm? What do you do that is different from this other technological advancements?
So the one unique thing about WeFarm is we don't believe that we know. We believe that the people who know how to transform this industry are out there in the farms. You would see that most of the startups or even most of the agencies that are working in the sector would go with solutions to the farmers. This is the best thing and this is how you should do it. In comparison, WeFarm says, we know you have a lot of experience to share and you can change this in your own right and you're experts. However, we also understand that you don't have the right tools necessary to communicate that and share that idea and knowledge. Here is the tool to do it. And you would be surprised how much expertise the farmers have in terms of, you know, farming expertise, market expertise, and just the sheer innovation that is coming out of the farmers and to the farmers is unbelievable. So that's a unique thing that is something that we are proud of as WeFarm. Yeah.
Okay, from all your achievements, let's talk about the difficulties, because there's no road that's smooth to success. So tell us about some of your experiences according to your challenges that you faced.
Where do I begin? When we started first as entrepreneurs, the journey of MFARM, it was really, really difficult to make people understand what that is all about.
Yeah.
On one part, it was needed, it was timely.
Yeah.
On the other part, it's the most difficult industry to be in. And the challenges for me, the most devastating sessions I had to endure was when you go to the farm, spending time with the farmers, and they see the value, but they want to be on the sideline and wait for it to work for their neighbor before they take it up. So you had to really work on making sure that the first people who are adopting your technology are influencers who can influence other people. That was in the beginning really hard for us. But towards the end, the hardest moment was for me to say it's time. Writing my resignation letter was one of the crazy things. But in general, for Kenyan entrepreneurs, one of the hardest things that we had to do was getting access to funding and convincing people why we are the right people to execute this plan that we have. And it's unfortunate that the kind of money and investment that's available is mainly old money, which is going to construction and real estate. Nobody understands the technology sector really well enough to buy into your idea and give you enough money to execute it. So that was really challenging as well. So many other things. As an entrepreneur, you make too many mistakes.
Yeah, but you learn from them eventually.
Evidently, my mistakes led to, shutting down of them. So definitely.
But I guess there's a blessing in disguise in everything. As much as it may seem like that, but I'm sure that now you're at a better place and with better experience and looking forward to better things.
Yes, definitely. And I'm glad that I had to go and walk that journey fast, because I don't think I would have been a really good fit for what I'm doing right now. Yeah. So all the experiences that I learned the hard way, I'm now implementing them in a place where it's really needed and where it can make the most impact. So it was necessary for me to walk those shoes first before I could settle in and become this person who can lead a whole company in the sector of Kenyan chapter to become successful. So that was necessary for me to go through.
Which is pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Well, we will be taking a short break. Do not move a muscle as we get to know the fun side of Jamila.
Horizontv, the beacon for the nation.
Welcome back. For those of you who are joining us right now, I am with the lovely Jamila Abass, who is an internationally recognized IT entrepreneur. For her, she is using mobile technology to link farmers to do away with poverty. Well, for her, putting a smile on the farmer's face is her joy. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Well, Jamila, the first segment has been very serious. Now I want to get to know the fun side of you. What do you do for fun?
Just laugh.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So
do you have any hobbies?
I do. I love cycling.
Wow.
There was a day we went to Tigoni for like 30 kilometers ride. It was at the beginning when I was learning how to ride and going over hills and trying to catch up with people who have been doing it for years. It was pretty tough, but I love cycling. Also love swimming. And
so are you a professional swimmer, or is it just
hopefully one day hopefully one day I'll represent Kenya, but not now. Not professionally, but to the extent that I can rescue myself from drowning. Yes.
Oh, okay, that's really nice. I wish I knew would have the interview cycling.
That would have been really nice.
Is there anything that you like doing apart from that?
Yes, I'm so much into greening the desert. I don't know if that even makes sense. I come from an arid land. I come from Wajir. Dry, hot, probably nothing grows there. I'm exaggerating, but hey. So I'm into like using climate smart agriculture and permaculture to regenerate, Mother Earth. And also change the perception that for you to fend for yourself, you just have to be a pastoralist and be in the bush, wait for drought to hit, and then you have nothing. So that is a hobby that I developed recently, just like a year ago.
Pretty interesting. Do you have any plans of settling down?
Having
a family, having little babies that you can go do agriculture with. Do you have that in mind?
Yes, I do. It's in the making soon, inshallah.
Inshallah. We hope all works out for you. Jamila, being a Muslim woman and you're in this agriculture and technology sector, what role has Islam played in your life?
From an early age as a Muslim, you're taught how to be consistent, disciplined, prayers, going to madrasa and everything. So the key thing that you need to be a really good entrepreneur, discipline and consistency. And that's one thing Salah tells you and teaches you, which is it's time for prayer, drop whatever you're doing. You need that discipline and will to be able to do that. Go do the prayer and come back and pick it from there. So for me, it's played a role in the sense that when you have to be really consistent. It's 5 times. It has its own timings. You can't miss it. You shouldn't miss it. And with business, it's the same thing. Deadlines are there. You have to make sure that you're you have the ability to take a break from chaotic life
Yeah.
to be a really good entrepreneur, which I believe prayers and other activities, religious activities play, which is take a step back,
Yeah.
sharpen your axe, come back and take it from there. The other thing is honesty and being really kind as a person.
Yeah.
I think our religion is based on treating humanity right first.
Yeah.
And for a leader, you have to understand that you have to treat everyone as a human being. And that translates to treating your employees well,
Yeah.
thinking about them as human beings who have their own dreams and their own aspirations before you think about, oh, this is business. So
Yeah.
for me, it makes me understand to deal and have that interpersonal relations with the people I work with.
And do you feel that Islam is a hindrance in your life, especially where we can see that you're wearing the hijab? Do you feel like it's a hindrance of any sort, especially when you also have to work with non-Muslims? How are you received?
First of all, I'm covering my head, not my brains, so I don't think that should be a hindrance for anyone.
Uh-huh.
And in Kenya, it hasn't been such a problem,
Yeah.
because I mean, like, we are very heterogeneous society and
Yeah.
you know, well receiving of other people's faith and religion. In other parts, I haven't encountered such a problem, but I also know that there are all these stereotypes and people thinking that if you're different from me, therefore you are a threat to me. If you're
Yeah.
different from me, therefore you shouldn't get the same opportunities and same equal rights. And it's a perception that every woman who is a Muslim needs to change in her head first.
So the problem is ourselves
The
and
problem
not
is
people.
ourselves, because I cannot control what Aisha does.
True.
I can control how I react to what Aisha does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of looking at it as a hindrance, we should be out there doing in our own rights what we need to do, and show whoever thinks that Islam is a hindrance, especially for women, to understand and see more women of the Muslim faith
Yes.
doing things that are really interesting and are common to any other human being, despite what religion you have.
That's very true. So Jamila, what does success mean to you?
That is a really difficult question. Success for me means having wealth, but not just wealth in terms of monetary.
Yeah.
Wealth in terms of wisdom, wealth in terms of funds, wealth in terms of culture, emotionally, and everything. But not just having it for my own, but being able to share with people who really need it. For me, that is the definition of success. It's not just what is in my bank account,
Yeah.
what is in my heart as well, what is my health shows, and how can that be shared with people that you care about and people who surround you.
And what is the mantra you live by? What is that one tagline when I think of Jamila,
I have so many mantras.
You can give us all.
Well, let me start with the one that really keeps me in check,
Yeah.
unbalanced. I am the kind of person who wants to fix everything, change everything, support people, especially if you come from, where a lot of people are living below the poverty line.
A humble background.
Humble background. You grew up thinking that I'm the one who is coming to change this. Right?
Yeah.
My tagline that I live with is, you can't give what you don't have. If you don't have wisdom, you can't give it. If you don't have money, you can't give it. If you don't have the characteristics and the quality to lead a company or to support in terms of leading employees to success, then you can't give it. You have to have it to give it. If you're not healthy, then you can never be a good entrepreneur. So for me, it's like you can't give what you don't have.
Let's go back to your childhood.
Yeah.
How supportive have your parents been in your journey? Especially you come from Wajir, and here you are, very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
You went to school, started your own company. How supportive have they been?
Okay. So I've been quite lucky to grow up with a lot of siblings.
Yeah.
Who all believed.
How many? That would be very interesting. How many siblings
15.
do you have? Wow, mashallah.
Yeah. Yeah, so all of them believed in empowerment, education.
Yeah.
And supporting each other. And my mom has been a constant figure in my life. She didn't go to school herself, but she understood the importance of taking her girls to school and making sure that they can change their lives.
Yeah.
Not just theirs, but they become someone of significance. So given that, my brothers, my sisters, all of them also were supportive. In fact, my role model is one of my brothers who always made sure that I stay ahead of the pack. When I was in high school, before I got into the culture of reading, he will bring like stacks of books, just dump them and come back visiting, and he wants to know what I have learned from these books, what were the summaries of this book. So they've always been supportive. Of course, I think this is a common story for every Kenyan who has made it, which is like they either had supportive parents or brother or sister who paid the school fees. So my school fees was paid by my brothers. Education has never been a problem for me. Reading and writing was taught to me by my siblings. So I believe I had the right environment to thrive in as a young kid. Yeah. And
did you always dream of landing into agriculture?
No. I always dreamed of becoming a doctor, a neurosurgeon to be specific. And you know, our system does not always support our dreams. So I found myself in computer science. Yeah, that became an option for me, but I'm making the best out of it right now, and I'm happy to be doing what I'm doing.
That's very nice. And how supportive has the Muslim community been to you? Apart from your family support, do you ever get shunned away because of being a successful woman?
From the Muslim community?
Yes.
Not at all. And to be honest with you, I had little interaction with the Muslim community since I moved out of Asia.
Yeah.
But I've never had any, resistance from either of the community, whether Muslim or non-Muslim.
So Jamila, what is the next big thing for you? What are we expecting from you?
Well, creating a digital ecosystem through WeFarm and making sure that we are able to impact the lives of millions of farmers across sub-Saharan Africa and in Asia. Because it's not just the Kenyan farmers who have these problems. Problems are very similar, if not exactly the same. And 500 million farmers are having this problem. So my next big step is making sure that WeFarm is really successful and is able to drive the impact that I couldn't do before with my now current position.
Jamila, what message do you have to tell girls and ladies out there who are watching you and thinking of doing something in their life but they haven't taken the step yet?
My advice will be take that step, whatever that step is supposed to be. Well, most of the times, I think as human beings we have dreams. The one thing that makes the difference between it becoming true or just staying a dream is taking that one first step. Take it, find it out, come back, iterate, change, and again, try it. And there's nothing like failure. The more you fail, the more lessons you learn. It's actually the best teacher. Failure is the best teacher. So most people hold back from starting and taking the first step because you think of, oh God, what if I fail in it?
Yeah.
But if you turn around and think of failure as learnings, then you will take that first step. So take the first step.
Well, Jamila, we wish you all the best from Horizon team, and we know that you're going to put Africa on the map. You have already put it up there, and so we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
From Jamila Abass's story, we learn that it does not matter where you come from. All it takes is patience, dedication, and hard work to get you where you want to be. Well, goodbye for now. Ma'asalam, fi amanillah.
Everything I have, everything I own, everything I eat is thanks to you. Every breath I take, every bird I hear, every smile I see is thanks to you. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. All thanks is to Allah. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah.
The Meet and Greet show with Aisha Khan was shot on location at the Monarch Hotel, your one-stop halal certified hotel.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.